Hello everybody, my name's Stranger and I'm going to be doing a beginner's tutorial on Tap Titans 2. Just going to go through some of the key important parts of the game that happen at the beginning, such as artifact recycling to get Book of Shadows quite early, and some other tricks like that so we can get ourselves off to a good start and push through the game quite quickly. So what I'm going to do in this first episode is go through basically the intro of the game. We're going to just play through it with you and we'll go up to our first prestige at least. So we'll hop in. Cool. So the first thing that's going to come up is the game's going to ask you what name you want to be. You can change this anytime during the game. A lot of players like to put their clan tag in their name. Some people jump around clans so then they can change their name later date. Doesn't matter. You can do this pretty much whenever, and doesn't affect much other than what you're called and how people see you in tournaments and that kind of thing, and in your clan list. So I'm in Golden twice and Stranger, so we're just gonna go with GT Ranger. Cool. And then if you note, you can click on this little sword here, and there's a couple of icons to begin with, but you're going to get a lot more as you go through the game. You unlock icons from all sorts of different achievements, such as reaching new stages and doing certain things in the game as well. So to begin with, you literally have to tap, but just before we actually fully play, you might want to hop into that gear sign at the top there and do a few things like turning off sound and music, or if you like it, putting it on full, but I think a lot of people get pretty tired of it all eventually and just play with it off most of the time. I like the rounding, so I tend to turn that on, and also I like the scientific notation. Flipping this is going to restart your game, so we just have to sit through a load menu to reboot it up. It's quite quick though. Cool. Back into that menu, you have account, which is going to let you do things like save your progress. This is quite important. You definitely don't want to crash and have some kind of error that's going to reset you back to the beginning of the game and have to start all over again. It's a real pain. So you definitely want to hook up to a email or Facebook account. You're going to get free diamonds there as well, which is a nice little thing. I personally recommend using the email system, as Facebook tends to have some problems with logging in this game, but sooner or later we'll be looking at maybe some different login options like Google or something, which would be quite cool. So yeah, back to the screen, you have a couple of power options here. These are really quite important. This game can drain your battery life reasonably well, so look to maybe turn off some that aren't that important. I personally play with just about everything off, except for our times multiplier, so this one down here. But for this, I'm just going to leave everything on, and we can talk about it as we go through. There's a support button there. That's to contact your support if you have any issues like bugs that cause you to crash and you lose things in the game. If you purchase something and have a issue that the purchase doesn't come through properly, you can contact them through there, and they're pretty quick. Usually they're about 2 to 3 days, sometimes a little bit longer when it's real busy periods, but most of the time 2 to 3 days ish, and they'll usually sort out your problem quite quickly. So when they do, when you do ask them to help you, down the bottom right hand side there, you'll notice a support code. This is quite important. This is kind of like your player ID. This is what they'll ask for to find you in their servers and that kind of thing. So it's probably a good idea to take a screenshot of this options menu now, and then even if you can't get into the game or some problem later and down the line, you have your support code there ready no matter what. There's a link there to the Reddit page, the tutorials, merchandise, privacy, a whole lot of other little bits and pieces. A calculator that is somewhat useful, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. So I don't really use it. Oh, we don't want to do that. The other option you'll see down there is percent upgrades. right now at the beginning of the game, I don't really think you need this. This is going to come into play much later down the line when you're hitting really large numbers on your relics, which we'll discuss what relics are later. But basically, for the beginning of the game, it's not going to matter. And then, of course, at the top there, you've got your notifications, your language. I don't really have the notifications on for this game because there's not really any need. I spend far too much time on it anyway. Alright, so we are just going to tap. We just have to tap away. So you'll notice as I tap, I'm doing damage there. My damage is 1. And every time I kill a creature at the top right-hand side, you'll see a ticker ticking down. So there's 7 out of 8. Finally, I've got a bit of gold and I can do an upgrade. So let's click on where they're telling us to. We're going to level up our Swordmaster. He is now able to do a bit more damage. Now we're doing 2 damage per hit. This is a boss. You'll see there's a timer ticking down at the moment. 30 seconds is the default time. You can leave the boss fight if you wish, and then you may enter it at any time after that. You can leave and enter as many times as you want. It's not going to do anything. And the reason we have this button is that you can farm up some gold before going into the fight, and then go in with a slightly stronger gold value and damage value, and then beat the boss. So now we've gone up an extra level, we're doing 3 damage now. I'll tear this boss to pieces. There we go. So you get the premise. Basically, what we're doing is we're just pushing up stages. So every time we go through 8 titans at the top there, we've gone up 1 stage. So you'll now notice that our ticker at the top says 2. We're in the 2nd stage. The idea of this game is to push as many stages as you can until you get stuck, and then we do a thing called prestiging, which will give us relics, and we'll start the push all over again. This might sound silly at first, but you'll notice that with these relics you'll push much further and get much more relics again next round, and you just repeat this over and over, and the goal is to progress. You're trying to progress. That's the whole point of this game. So we're just ticking away. I'm going to keep spamming Swordmaster and making sure he's at the highest level so we can just go through these bosses quickly. Cool. So while I'm tapping, I'll discuss a few other things. You'll notice a current DPS counter there at the middle right area. This is attacking. Oh, I'll hop back into that 1 second. We now have to go into our hero menu. Cool. We finally unlocked heroes. First hero is Maya, and we're going to grab a level of her. So what heroes do is they actually attack for you. You'll notice that she just shoots a projectile out there. They do this at a timed interval. Each hero does slightly different timings, different damage, and they're quite complicated. So hold on, we'll just beat this boss here. This is that little black screen that you just saw. That's a stage transition. That happens periodically. At the beginning of the game, it'll happen every 5 stages. What it is just refreshing the memory of the game so it doesn't crash on you. It can get a little bit frustrating at times, but there is a setting later on that will stop it from doing that over a 2-minute period, and it'll only do it every 2 minutes. Going back into heroes real quickly, you'll see Maya here. So I'm just going to we want to keep her upgraded because she's just going to attack for us in the background. So there's a few little things on her. You'll see that I've upgraded her to level 2, so same as Swordmaster, you're going to level her up. She has a DPS of 72. That's 100% of my total hero DPS. You'll see as you get more heroes, that percent will drop to 50 or lower and lower and lower as you get more heroes. And then your most important heroes will have the highest percent typically. You'll see that there's a little staff icon next to her damage there. That means she's a magic type. If you click on her, you can find out a bit more information. Below the staff now is a little rock, which means that she's a ground type hero. There's ground and flying, 2 different types. The flying types will come in later there towards the end of the hero list. You'll notice here now that there's a scroll list of abilities that you unlock at certain levels. These are just little boosts that you get for getting that hero to that level. They might not seem like a lot, but they do add up. Cool, we finally reached a stage where we need to help our pet out of a cage, so we'll close this really quickly. Cool, so this is Nova. Nova's stuck in cage, the enemy cage, and Maya's just tearing everything up in the background. She's far too good for me. We'll open up the cage, and out comes our first pet. So Nova is the first pet you get in the game. Pets do a cool little feature where you'll notice in this left region now a pet damage indicator with a little circle. Whenever you tap, the circle fills up, and when you fill the circle, a lightning bolt pops out of your pet and does a nice bit of damage. If we go into the pet menu, cool, we've unlocked pets, and there's Nova, our first pet. Awesome, tells us a whole lot of information there about the damage that that pet does when it's active or passive. I'll get into that all a bit later. Back into the heroes, just while I was going here, we'll upgrade and get a second hero now. You'll notice now that one is doing 59% of the damage and the other is 40. If I upgrade this, 47, 52, balances out. Back into here, you'll also notice that 2 times hero DPS at level 10. So what that means is when you get your heroes up to certain levels, they get multipliers on their damage so that they can do a whole lot more damage. So let's just try and get her up to 10 real quick. Push a couple more stages, kill this boss. Stage transition because we passed 10, 7, 8, a little bit further, 9, 10. So see that little ×2 that popped up on her? Now you'll see the next level is also ×2, but at level 30. So we have to go a bit further for our next bonus, but obviously the bonuses do get better as time goes on, and it's definitely going to be worth it. You'll see these bonuses become really important later in the game. If we come back to this first page, we'll see as we go through this beginning of the game, you're just going to get a whole lot of free gems given to you just for doing stuff. Again, beginning of the game, if you really want to progress quite quickly, you want to go full Swordmaster because he is just going to be your best source of damage. He's so much faster than these other heroes that are going on here, and as you can see, I'm just much quicker at passing through the stages. Just kill through 15 here. Alright. Well, I killed him quite quickly, but you may notice now that there's flying equipment dropping down. Enemies with blue health bars are enemies that are going to drop equipment. So, whenever you kill them, they're going to drop a piece of equipment on the ground. Equipment in this game is collected when you click on them on the floor like this. They stack on top of each other so you can have more than one. Our first piece of equipment is actually an event item for an event that's on at the moment for the Easter event. So we'll go into our equipment tab. Cool, we've unlocked equipment. It's a slash item. So as you can see, the equipment does slightly more pet damage. So let's chuck that on. So you'll notice there's 5 different slots. You have a sword, a hat, a chest, your aura, and the slash. The slash is what we've just gained. Each one boosts something slightly different. You'll see as you go the different types that get boosted up. If we click on the yoke, we're going to get a bit more information. You'll notice that this item has another effect below for deadly strike chance. So these are secondary effects, and they come into play from event items, rare items, legendary items, and mythic items. These are the 4 different types of items other than the common, which has no secondary effects. The secondary effects vary between each different item just as the main effect does, and it's all random just like the actual boost as well. So there's a lot of RNG when it comes to equipment, RNG being random number generator, which means random values, and it also means that there's a little bit of give and take in the quality of the item you can get. So, you'll also see when you click on an item like this, that you can lock it, unlock it, and the visible button. The visible button is just there for the beginning of the game. After you pass a certain stage in the game, you can actually make items look like other items that you've gained. So, this is called transmorphing or transmorphigation, something like this. Basically what it does is just going to make your equipment look like the other piece but have the same effect it currently does. This way you can make your Swordmaster look cool and still have the effects you want. You'll see a crafting button here. This is quite a new feature. Basically how it works is we're going to craft items for sets. So what that means is you need to craft an item. It's going to drop one of the 5 set items, and the aim is to get a full set. Once you get the full set, you'll get the boost below. So you can see that every set has a different boost. We can see here it starts with event items, which can only be obtained during the event. We then have rare, which you can craft at any time for 5 shards. You then have legendary, which you can craft at any time for 20 shards. And then mythic. Mythic are quite clearly the strongest, but they cost 100 shards to make, so they're cost a little bit more and take a little bit longer to obtain. But as you can see, the boosts below are a lot better with the mythic sets than they are with the lower sets. Crafting, we won't worry about too much. You see suddenly there's a little fairy floating above. Fairies do play quite an important role in the game. They drop cool things like gold, perks, which we haven't discussed yet, and your actual abilities that you can tick off, which we haven't quite unlocked just yet. Basically, fairies will spawn after a certain time. They float around the screen for a while. If you don't tick on them, they'll float off the screen and reset. You can have more than one fairy on the screen at a time. There's actually an ability for this, and if you noted back here in the crafting set, right down at the bottom, one of the abilities is 50% multi-chance fairies. So there's a few different ways we can upgrade this, and item secondary abilities are one of those ways. So you'll see when I'm upgrading here that there's a actual multiplier button you can pick, and there's times 10, times 100, and times max. Max is just going to use the max amount of gold we can to level up. We like to max our Swordmaster here so we can keep pushing. As you noted, I wasn't really moving at all through the stages there because I wasn't using my Swordmaster at all. Our heroes were just kind of doing a little chip damage, and it was quite slow. So we're going to keep pushing here for a bit. You'll see these little red icons pop up all the time. These are like notifications or things that you've done. So in this case, it was a award for that. Max, we go up another 10 levels. Cool, let's keep going. While we're on here, if you come back to this main page, you'll notice there's a whole lot of cool stuff down here. It's a little bit intimidating to start with. So this first section are what we call active skills. They're skills we're going to use. They appear down in those little circles at the bottom of the screen, and they have basically timed effects. You pop them for mana, which currently we have 0 out of 0 with a regen of 2, but we still have 0, so we can't regen any. You use the mana regenerates over time, and then you use the skill again. It's this, quite a simple idea. The idea is that as you level up the skills, they cost more mana, they do more damage, but you need to recover that mana, so at the same time you need to use abilities and pets and other things to regenerate your mana quicker. You come down past the active skills to the passive skills. These are 3 very important parts of the game. Intimidating presence is gained from just owning skill points. The more skill points you own in the game, the higher your intimidating presence level can be. The higher the intimidating presence level is, the less titans you have to face before a boss. So right now we face 8 out of 8, then we have to fight a boss. If you have intimidating presence, it'll take 1 off of that, and so forth. So level 8 intimidating presence will mean that I'll just go straight to a boss, then a titan, then a boss, then a titan, then a boss. It'll be much faster, and it helps you progress through earlier stages quicker without having to put in so much effort. Obviously this scales quite well with your current top level, so that at the top levels you're actually having to face quite a few titans, and what this does is it slows down the pushes towards the end of your cap, which is the kind of intended idea of how that works. The skill below that is Power Surge. This is revolving around your pet, and Splash Skip, which is another idea. Splash Skip is not to be mistaken with Splash. Splash will splash through titans and bosses, moving you through stages. So if I splashed 16 titans right now, I would go up 2 stages, but if I splash skip 16 titans, I'll only go up to the boss. Splash skip won't go through a boss. So splash skip is a tool for killing many titans before a boss, so towards the end of your run you can speed up a little bit more because you're killing 20 titans in one hit rather than having to kill 1, 2, 3, 4 and so forth. The anti-titan cannon works more or less the same way, except that it is for your clan ship, which we haven't quite unlocked yet. We'll talk about that later. The perks below, you will get perks throughout the game just by participating in tournaments and doing that, but you can also buy them for gems. They're quite useful in different ways. So the first one is power swiping. You can simply use it to hold on the screen and swipe around. Adrenaline Rush is going to speed up your game, so basically your heroes get, oh, well, not just your heroes, all your damage is ×5 stronger, so you can go a bit further, and you also can, you have Titans then spawning quicker as well. There's a timer between each spawn, and with Adrenaline Rush on, it is much faster. Both these skills are active for 12 hours, and then they will stop their effect, and you'll have to reset another one off to gain that same ability. Make It Rain is essentially a gold boost, so you'll just get a big boost in gold. Suddenly you'll see right now, even with hardly any boost to my gold at all, I'm gonna get 2 million gold when my current gold is actually only 18,000, which is quite a big difference at the beginning of the game. It's telling me I failed to beat the boss because I waited too long, so you can see it's telling me the fight boss button, which we've already covered. Below Make It Rain, there's a mana potion. Refill your complete pool of mana, so say you have 200 in mana total and you use all of it, so you have 0 out of 200. Using that mana potion is going to pop you back up to 200 mana. Quite simple. Doom Below is quite an interesting tool. Essentially, it is a massive burst of damage that splashes through quite a lot of stages. It kills a maximum of it goes up a maximum of 30 stages. So if you splash through everything, 30 stages is the highest you can splash through. You can use only 3 of these per run. So you use 3 and then you have to prestige carry on using them. Typically people will save these for tournaments and use them to push in the final few minutes for those last desperate stages to beat someone else. Clan crates are quite fun. They're essentially similar as Make It Rain, but what they do is they actually give basically a Make It Rain amount of gold to all of the people in your clan, and also give you a boosted amount of that same amount of gold. So you can see there I'm going to get 11 million rather than the Make It Rain's 2.3. All my clanmates will get their version of Make It Rain. So say my teammate gets 4.5 million, he will receive that much gold from that. So clan crates are basically quite expensive, but they are shared around your whole team, so they're quite beneficial during a tournament run. When everyone is in a tournament, they all get a little bit of a gold boost, and that is quite nice. From basically they have to spend nothing, so people will love you if you spam gold crates all over them. There's a prestige button down the bottom. This is one of the most important buttons in the whole game. You're going to press this button a lot of times, and you're going to become quite familiar with it. Basically, we can't press it now because we're not level 500, but what that does is that is going to reset our prestige. It's going to reset our level back to 0 if I'm not in a clan, or into a stage that is what we call an advanced start, which is based on your clan level. Advanced start will be a percentage of your max stage. So say I get to stage 200 and I advanced start 10%, I'm going to land on stage 20. And then have to push again from there. So advanced start's quite important, and it's based on your clan, so it depends on the clan that you're in how good the advanced start is. But advanced start's going to cut your runs down quite a lot, especially at the higher levels where players are advanced starting at 50% plus of their max stage, which is literally half the run. So they can do 2 runs in what would take a normal player. They can do 2 runs in what would take a normal player's 1 run. Sorry, they had a math blank. What will happen when you prestige is, other than the reset, all your heroes will be reset, your gold will be reset, and you will gain a whole bunch of relics, which is the last tab we haven't quite unlocked yet. And relics are what keep this game alive. They are the whole progression part of the game. Back at the top here, you still have that account button. You can access it from here too. A skill tree, which we have no skills yet, but this is a whole another video in itself. We'll go through these trees. There's whole discussions on builds that you can do, different ways to do it, how to spend it, optimizers, the whole lot. Basically, from here, you will assign your skill points by clicking on the tile and clicking the bottom right there. You have to make your way down the tree to get to the bottom skills. The bottom skills are quite obviously the best skills, but they also cost a lot more. As you can see, the first level is 3 points versus the top skill only costing 1. The basic premise behind the skill trees are Knight is going to be quite an active tapping builds. They typically require you to tap constantly or tap on things to activate certain stuff. Warlord is a semi-idle build group, so essentially you'll be doing some tapping, or you can also do some leaving of the phone to sit there and kill through titans on its own. Sorcerer is a bit of everything, depending on how you skill. Typically people will skill some sorcerer skills for even with a knight build or a warlord build. Sorcerer skills typically will help the build be faster or regenerate you mana or do some kind of trick that will help the game go along quicker. The rogue is our final tree. Rogue typically is for offline play. There is some important skills here like Silent March, which is going to let you progress while you're not even on the app at all. The other skills around here are based on Silent March going quicker or doing extra damage while you're in Silent March, and some of the skills actually do assist in normal play as well. So like I say, we'll talk about all that in another thing. The last thing on this panel is the stats page, which you can look down here, and what you can do is actually apply your build, check your stats before you actually accept your build, and see how that build is. If you don't like it, reset everything back to 0 and try again, and then check again your stats. So you can kind of figure out what the strongest stats are going to be just from inside the build tree. Obviously the achievement panel, we've seen this. There's nothing too much special here. You just kind of unlock stuff as you go. Some things will just happen. Killing titans, for example, just will build its way up as you go. If we go on to the second page, you can see now that I've unlocked quite a few heroes in the background. Before I unlock all them, there's an upgrade panel here on the first part here, and if you click on here, it'll say unknown for just about everything, and you can't even see what some of the heroes look like yet because we haven't unlocked anything. But what these are hero weapons, so every hero in the game has their own weapon. The idea for this is to complete sets as well, so basically you want to get a level 1 in every single weapon, so all 37 of them, and then that'll give you your first upgrade, which is in this case 4 times damage. But as you get more sets, they get the boost gets much bigger, but obviously completing sets takes a long time, so the boost is well worth the wait basically. The other advantage to having a hero weapon is when you are upgrading your heroes like Maya, and we get to a skill that we need to unlock for her, I have to click there to unlock it, whereas if I have her weapon, I won't have to click the skill unlock, it'll just do it automatically, and it'll cost nothing rather than costing gold right now. This helps with just being quicker in general, and yeah, it's just a convenience thing really. The gold is not really that bothersome, I guess. Maybe at later, like when you're pushing it on the final heroes, it might come in handy. You have your stats panel here again. This is your stats as they are, play by play, so you can pretty much have a good look through everything if you want. As you upgrade stuff, that'll update as well, so you can look at them. Here's the most exciting panel of them all, the story. If you have really bad sleep habits, you can have a read here and your problems will go away. If you hop back to the pet here, you'll notice that there's a couple things above our pet. So first thing is the egg, next egg timer. This is how long's left till another egg spawns. So basically to gain pets, eggs will spawn every certain time. whatever the time limit is there. Right now for the Easter event, it's different, but typically it's 4 hours. They may change that in the future, however. You can see there are ×0 next to the egg. This can be however many eggs are stacked up. Usually the egg icon will appear towards the top left more often than not than here, but you can also come in here and click it to collect the egg. You'll see there's a bar there for auto attack progress. This is your pet attack that you see when we click happening on its own without you having to click. So you see we need 200 pet levels before we get that. It's going to take a little while to get there, but it is really handy, especially if you're running a pet build at that stage in the game. Auto attacks are pretty much going to double your pet attacking because they're going to trigger as the same time as your tapping ones will. So my one that's happening right now would also be happening while the auto attack one is happening. So if you get what I mean, you're kind of doubling your damage on that one. Our last tab is the shop. They have some really cool things in here like starter bundles, so this one will get you going off. We have your daily shop, which is quite interesting. Basically what happens is these 6 tiles will randomly pick a hero weapon, a perk, or a pet, and you can buy all those items for gems. So you can also get equipment, which will always be legendary equipment at the highest level that you could possibly obtain for that point in the game. It's not really advised to buy the equipment because it becomes redundant after a little while, but buying pets, especially fluffers like this, early in the game is really good value. 3 levels for 90 gems is good value, and it's going to give you mana regen and this kind of stuff. So typically players will buy mana regen, pet, damage, and all hero damage typically. Not so much the damage types like spell, melee, and all that kind of thing. So it's kind of up to you how you spend your diamonds, but diamonds have many different uses in this game, so the shop is not the only place you will want to spend them. Below you can see chests. These chests also for diamonds give you different rewards. Obviously the Titan chest is the holy grail, however they are quite expensive compared to the others. And then below you can see that we have our diamond packs that we can buy and all that. Paying in this game has a few advantages. You get the VIP status like you see there. VIP will give you reduced salvage and reduced reset costs on your skill tree because it costs diamonds to salvage artifacts. We'll get to that later, and it costs diamonds to reset your skill tree each time you want to change it. So if you want to change your build, you need to reset your tree, and that's going to cost you some diamonds. Typically players will do this a lot during reset events where there's a discounted price, but you're not forced to wait for that. You can do that anytime you want, and some players do that when the meta switches or they make buffs or nerfs to certain items or abilities in the game. VIP status is a cumulative bonus, so you have to spend something like 100 USD to gain it, but you can do that by spending 250 packets or 10 $10 packets. However you want to do it, eventually you'll end up with that VIP status. I personally am a VIP player. I see value in spending every now and then, but I don't go crazy. There are some players in this game that will spend a hell of a lot of money to really push their build to the max, and they are all over the place. You can see YouTube videos on guys doing 4-minute runs to the current cap and that kind of thing. Yeah, we all strive to be like them one day, but it's going to take a little while. Alright, back to the main game. So right now we haven't progressed at all. We probably want to get these new heroes, so let's grab all these heroes here. We want to just level these guys up as much as we can. And then, like I said before, they're not going to do anything because you have to tap really through the first part of the game. Your Swordmaster is just so much stronger and quicker because you tapping is faster than anything really. You can see that 2x bonus I just got from leveling up the Swordmaster. You can see how much quicker that's making things. So we reached level 25 and we can join a clan. So what we want to do is we can either create a clan. This is going to cost 400 gems, and we can do all our typical things like changing the name, choosing if it is open to everyone or not, that kind of thing. We're not going to create one. We're going to look at the clan directory and see what we've got going at the moment. So clan quest 3, 2, I think we can probably aim better than that, right? Let's refresh. Oh, is this all I'm allowed to join? Level 3? Huh? Well, let's go with the best option we can go with. Try and join these guys. Enjoy the publicity. Cool. Now that we're in a clan, you'll see this really weird ship that just kind of floated into view and shot a cannonball. That's your clan ship. What that does is it's based on your hero damage. That cannonball fires every 10 seconds and it does 10 times hero damage. So basically that clan ship has just doubled your DPS. That clan ship will just keep attacking like that all the time, and that clan ship is tied to this ability back here, the anti-titan cannon, which gets leveled up from doing clan quests. So what's a clan quest? Let's click on the clan tab over here. You'll see down the bottom left there's a little clan quest item. We click on that and we can see damage done to a boss, a clan damage bonus, and there's a whole lot going on here. So let me break it down. A clan quest is a boss fight basically that all your clan members are going to be able to attack at the same time. They're going to it's going to tick off at a certain time, and then everyone can do damage for a certain time period before it resets. If you kill it, you move up a level and you get a better boost. The boost here is 324% clan damage bonus. That's an all damage bonus to your character. That's going to make you quite a bit stronger. So if you see now, I'm currently doing a lot more damage all of a sudden just from being in a clan. Back to the clan quest anyway. So you can see a list here. This is basically the aftermath report. You can see the damage dealt. This guy is single-handedly carrying the team, and these guys didn't really do anything, but that's okay. It's like the second clan quest, so you can pretty much kill it in the first hit. Normally there will be a button down the bottom here where this goal complete button is. That'll be your attack button. You'll use that to attack the boss. Then every attack after that will cost 5 gems, then 25, and it'll grow and grow and grow. But you also get a damage boost for consecutive hits on a boss. So basically it costs more, but you do more damage. And the idea is that people spend usually a free hit and then a 5 gem hit, and they'll do an extra bit of damage onto the boss to kill it a bit quicker and move up the ladder a bit faster. You'll get an understanding of that pretty quickly playing the game. It is really quite important to realize that when you find a good clan, you want to hit your clan boss regularly so that you can push that clan damage bonus and that advanced start that I just talked about a bit earlier, because advanced start really is quite strong in this game. I personally would not recommend that you do what I've just done and join a random clan like this. This clan doesn't look like it's really doing much, and as you can see, just random people are coming and going. What I would do is I would join a Discord team. Look on the general Discord page. I'll put a link in the description to the community and the Game Hive Discord channels. Go into the community channel. There's actually a channel called Clanship, and there you can search up a whole lot of clans are advertising there regularly. You can just either go into their channel and get interviewed with them and join up. You'll find that some of the clans are looking for high level players. Not much you can do there. What you want to be looking for are like casual and open clans that you can join at a lower level and build your way up the leaderboard, as you get stronger, you'll find you're suddenly over the MS cap that they need to get you into that clan, and then you can join, and suddenly you're in quite a good clan. Again, it's important to keep up with your team and be contributing to those fights. So here's another blue health Titan. We're going to get a piece of equipment off of beating this guy. There's the drop. Grab that and see what it is. Another event item. This one's a sword, the Crystal Egg Sword. So if we go over to the sword thing, 1.25 all damage, very nice. Heavenly Strike is the secondary bonus. We get one secondary bonus because it's an event item. Nice. These are my only items, so I may as well lock them real quick so I don't accidentally sell them. See this envelope here real quick, just to get rid of it. If you open this up, it has news from the developers. They'll be posting things here like Twitch streams and fixes, that kind of stuff. This doesn't happen that often, but when it does, it's usually pretty important. And then you have a clan section here. This is where your clan leader can post a message to everyone without it getting lost in the clan chat, and this will be things like get ready to hit the boss or blah 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 blah. Back into this clan really quickly. While we're in here, we can see a chat. You can message people. Let's say hi. And then it'll appear there. You can see my name there, my icon. I said hi. It tells you when it was said and that I'm a recruit. And how the roles work is you have a list of clan members here, and you can see the Grand Master. That'll be the highest role. There's only one in the clan, and they run the clan. Then you see recruits, because this is a small clan. He won't have boosted anyone else. But the next one after recruit is knight. After knight, you go into captain, and after captain, you're a master, which is one step below grandmaster. Masters can control stuff in the clan like minimum stage level, and if it has a password, what the password is, this kind of thing. You can see there's my leave clan button down the bottom there if you wish to leave the clan, and there's some info down there. Also, if you click on a player, you can find out a whole lot of information about them, and also what they look like, and report them for cheating. I don't know why you would do that, but maybe you're going to report your teammate for cheating. Back in this menu, you can see a leaderboard button. If you click on that, you can see a whole lot of clans here listed. You can scroll through the top 200 in the world. You'll see Golden Twice there is my main clan, number 6, and the world leaders at the top there, the Reddit clan. You can scroll through this and see some of the top guys. There's quite a lot of really good clans up here, and these guys have been up here for a long time. The aim of the game is eventually to join one of these guys. These are the people you want to be with. They're the most dedicated. They're the guys that really care about the game. You can see that I'm in the 80,000th clan in the world. That's not great. Maybe we'll look to switching later, but for now, we'll just carry on going. There's also a directory button up the top there. This is used for searching for more clans. I wonder if I can... I don't know why, but it's only letting me join level 2 and 3 clans. Usually, there are some open clans that are a bit higher, around the 50s to 100, 200, up to 500 maybe even. That's where you want to get into. A 500 clan will boost you up quite nicely, and you can push through this really early part of the game really fast. Now that we're level 100, I've unlocked my first skill. Heavenly Strike is a burst of damage type of skill. You can see there I smashed through 2 titans there, because the first level of Heavenly Strike, where is it there? +1 maximum splash count. So we're going to splash through we're going to kill the titan we're on and splash through 1. So that's why we get 2. This little present here is a daily reward. We're going to just get that real quickly. The good thing about daily rewards is you're going to get one each day. The first 7 days are your top column. The second 7 days are your bottom column. If you complete the second set of 7, it starts again at number 8 here, not back at the first one. So after that, you just keep running through this bottom one. That's the idea. Log in every day and keep getting that skill point once a week, which is what is the most important part about the daily, I'd say. Getting back into Heavenly Strike, There's a whole bunch of information there like cooldowns, splash count maxes and that kind of thing. So we're gonna use it again, just level it up twice. Now that it's level 2, it costs 25 mana to use, so it's a little bit expensive. We can't actually cast it anymore because we don't have enough mana. We're gonna get mana from leveling up heroes. Wow, I actually got one off of a fairy. That's quite lucky. Fairies can drop these skills, which they will activate upon hitting the floor. As you saw, it just launched on its own. That'll happen from time to time. This is generally more useful with other perks that the other skills that last a little bit longer. Sorry, and then they'll last quite a while. We are really moving quite slowly here. Heroes up a few more levels. As you can see, I'm having to buy these skills, but they're actually quite nice skills. Critical chance. Wow, now we're cooking. Look at that speed. That is much better. So just keep upgrading your heroes as you go, and to keep tapping, we want to push up. We've got a whole lot of perks, free diamonds for days. This is all we want. Keep grabbing them. Those diamonds are going to come in handy in a moment. Now we've reached level 150, we've unlocked Deadly Strike, which is the second skill. Deadly Strike is a critical hit booster, basically. What happens if we activate it? We will have this little aura around us, and our critical chance is much higher. You'll see those green bits of text that pop up are Deadly Strikes. So Deadly Strike is like a really strong critical hit. And they are pretty much 100 million damage. I mean, 200 million, jeez. Okay, see, so they're one-tapping the enemies currently whenever that happens. Well, yeah, sure, I'll rate later. As you can see, the timer just ran down out on the bottom, so now it's stopped, and there's a little white bar running around it. That's the cooldown. We can speed up and extend the time that it lasts with artifacts later in the game. Cool, we've reached level 50 and unlocked our first skill point, so if we just grab that real quickly. Boom, there's our first one. Cool, it's telling me to go upgrade it now, so, well, I keep pressing that. Go to the skill point, explore the skill tree. Okay, we'll unlock the first level of this and apply it. So, Knight's Valor gives us a straight up flat tap bonus, 1.2 times, so now tapping will be even stronger. I'm hitting about 0.6 million here with every tap. I've also unlocked myself a new icon. We've got Nova there. I'll save that, and now my icon is Nova. Way cooler. I got another thing here for getting a skill point, and we'll just keep upgrading Swordmaster because he is going to do all of our damage. Let's grab this fairy. Maybe it's a skill. It's gold. That's unfortunate. Not too unfortunate, because it was a lot of gold, so we're just going to keep upgrading Swordmaster there. And tapping away. Tap, 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 tap. You'll see down the bottom there, the little red marker on the hero tab. That means I've unlocked a new hero that I can unlock, so go there and get them. The reason we want to unlock heroes regularly is because their skills are actually really strong. Mana capacity, melee damage, tap damage are all going to help towards our total damage output. Now I'm just flying through enemies. Keep going. Keep going. Let's make it go a bit quicker with the bit of a Deadly Strike boost there. Right. Again, Swordmaster is your main man at the beginning of the game. You really want him to be your main damage source. For a good while, he's going to be all you have to rely on. So. Alrighty. So we just keep going like this, keep upgrading your heroes, because they are going to give you all the coolest skills. You really want to get all these skills you can. The gold multipliers and these kind of things are going to make your gold income much better. You can see now I'm already in the billions, and we've been playing for just under an hour now. And I've been going quite slowly because I'm explaining everything to you as well. So you can reach quite high numbers really quite fast in this game. Alright, let's keep going. There's another fairy. Give me you can watch ads in this game, and what they do is they give you a boost. I don't know if this is going to work. Oh, yep. I won't bother showing the ad. Alright, so now that I've watched the ad, you can see that there is a collect button. We're just going to hit that and get that gold. The purpose of watching the ad will give you a much better bonus than a non-ad fairy would. This little chest there that I just grabbed was my idle gold. You get gold from when you're not playing. It's a very small amount of the active gold that you'd gain in the game, however. So it's not really worth really relying on inactive gold or anything. It's not going to be as good as your actual playing of the game. It will produce your gold much better. We're going to keep going along here. Not sure if there's any more important things in between now and your first prestige, but we'll keep going. You can see there's quite a diverse, different amount of titans. They don't have much different to them except the bosses, who have significantly more HP. They definitely are much harder to kill, you'll notice. We'll grab our third piece of equipment here. Another sword, it seems, but this is just a common. So you'll note that the common actually doesn't have any enhancement. Yeah, I don't know. Critical or all damage? Right now, all damage covers critical as well, and it's a bigger bonus. So actually, the all damage boost is stronger than our critical. I don't want this item anymore, so I will sell it and get the free gem from it. Now I'm an extra gem up. This may seem like not a lot of gems, but when you're doing all of your runs each day and getting legendary items that sell for 25 and rares that sell for 5, it adds up over time. You can get a total of 20 items per day. That's 5 items per run and 4 runs total. You basically everyone in the whole community will tell you to do all your daily runs. It's you're just maximizing your chance to get a legendary item out of it, basically, which is what you want to do. You want to be maximizing as much as you can, getting the best stuff in the game to make your progress quicker. Okay, well, we're just kind of chipping away at this boss here. We're just killing them. You can see tap damage is definitely the main source of damage. What's happening with the health bar now is when it's jumping like that, it's because I'm landing a critical hit. As you can see, criticals do quite a significant amount more damage, and critical actually affects other things in the game, like your other damage sources such as pet and your clan ship and these kind of things. So critical hits are going to become a really important part of the game later. For now, they're just really speeding things up for us, so we don't have to sit through a boss constantly. Let's grab this. Let's grab another piece of equipment here. What are we going to get this time? We get Spring Fever. A lot of event stuff today. I'm getting quite lucky. This is a aura. Sorry, it's basically what an aura does now is it will boost one of your other item slots. We're quite lucky actually, because it's going to boost our slash, so our pet damage is going to be even stronger than it was before. As you can see, it's now gone up a little bit because it actually does reflect the upgrade. We're also going to get 10 times Chesterton gold. So Chesterton is one of the type of titans that appear. It's basically a giant chest, and it just gives a whole lot of like gold when it pops out. Here's a diamond. I won't bother watching this one, but I would recommend that you watch these ads. You can get quite a few diamonds each day from this. I think it's 300 diamonds over the whole week from just watching ads. Costs you nothing, and that's quite a lot of diamonds. That's pretty much going to let you do your respecs whenever you want, so I would recommend doing that. As you can see from the equipment I've got on now, my actual player looks quite different. He's got a big egg aura around him. For now, we can't do much to change that, but we can, I think, turn that off if we want. So if we'd rather not have that there, you can just flick the visibility button and toggle that off. Man, we are getting spammed with stuff here. What have we got that's so cool? Aha, our other abilities. Hand of Midas, which was our... I probably should go through these a bit more. Yeah, Hand of Midas is our basically our gold skill, and Fire Sword is our tap damage skill. So Fire Sword is going to make tapping much more powerful. If you see now, my tapping is and criticals are quite a bit more. Actually, well, it's not really quite a bit more because it's only the first level of Fire Sword, but it's part of the bonus, right? We also want to start getting some gold now because this is taking quite a while. So we're going to pop Midas, and you'll see every time I tap, I'm getting gold, and every time I kill a Titan, the little gold thing at the top corner is oh, we're not going to beat this boss. Get some levels and Swordmaster. There we go. So yeah, every time we kill a Titan, that little chest, the little pot of gold, I guess, at the top right is popping, and it's giving us a big nice burst of gold that we're getting out of that. I need to stop pressing that. Alright, let's keep going. Da, 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 da. I want to try and get to 100 in this one if I can, and just we can kind of see the first. What do I need to get to for Prestige? 500, was it? Yeah, we'll probably skip ahead at some point to the Prestige, and I'm just trying to make sure I don't miss anything in the early game that might be a bit confusing or tricky to understand. Basically, you understand the premise of everything. Hopefully, I can get enough diamonds. How many do I have to buy another pet? And I can explain to you a bit more about the pet thing. So we'll have to try and unlock a few more achievements. I think that's what these indicators. Fake indicator. I think this one's for our Warcry, which is our all hero damage. So that's going to boost all your heroes doing work. They're going to suddenly hit a lot better. While we're at it, let's just upgrade some heroes, you know? Make them a whole lot stronger, and then they can do my job of tapping for me. I'm lazy. Alright. We're starting to get a little bit poor here. So let's do Midas. As we boost through, get those pops of gold, and then just giving us a nice little burst. We're now up to the trillions. Great. We're pushing through these heroes quite quickly. So we really want to try and maximize getting these skills. Let's just keep getting these skills. It's important to note as well that each hero gives different boosts. So some heroes only give mana. Some heroes only give tap damage. They all vary a little bit in different ways. And so when you start getting towards the end of your runs, you might be focusing on a specific hero. Maybe it's only you're stuck on a spellcaster, so you might be pushing your spell damage quite strong to get past that hero and onto the next one. This happens from time to time. You actually do switch between damage types quite frequently in this game, but you do want to try focus on the most important one at the time and then move on to the next one. It will be easy to upgrade the next one to the same point because of how incremental this game is. Alright, we're going to open that chest. Oh, we got a nice little deadly strike boost here, so just a couple of one taps on that. Let's get as well. We're going to combo it with Hand of Midas so that we're killing fast and getting gold just as fast. Cool. Let's get some levels here. There we go. Beautiful. Carry on with the one tapping. Basically, you want to optimize speed. We're trying to go as quick as we can. We just want to get to our max level as fast as possible, and there's a few different tricks for that. The skill tree itself supplies a whole lot of different options for getting to our max stage super fast. But again, it comes down to play style of how you want to play and what you want to do, really. You can be bothered tapping the whole time. You can actually get a little bit further typically because you're putting in that extra effort, but let's be honest, who can be bothered to tap the whole time? Paint Streaks is another slash item. This one is specifically for Shadow Clone. probably not useful right now, seeing as though we don't even have the Shadow Clone ability here. But once we do, it might be quite useful. Shadow Clone is essentially an auto tap, I guess you could say. It basically will do a whole lot of damage without you having to tap, and it is all based on heroes and their level and your tap ability, and yeah, it's got a few different multipliers going on, but basically your Shadow Clone is just going to kill for you. It's going to do a whole lot of stuff for you. You'll see in a moment when I think we've actually got it now, don't we? Yeah, here we go. I will show you. So we'll activate that. Pops a little guy there, and he will just tap away. We can just now focus on upgrading, doing things we want, and he's still just doing all the dirty work in the background while we go. Alright, let's just keep going. Skills, it's nice. Spell heroes. You'll see as well that the skill requirement level it broadens. It goes from, first you need level 20, then you need, level 60, and then you need 200, and on until you're up to 4,000s, and then the hero levels cap at 6,000. The reason for this is you move up through the hero list as you upgrade, and eventually when you get to the top of the hero list, you essentially do something called ascension, which is essentially bringing this bottom hero back to the top, and they're much stronger now. This way you can cycle through the hero list semi-continuously as you go, just getting stronger and stronger, and each hero becomes strong again. You'll notice at the top there, I should have probably talked about this earlier, the daily achievement resets every day. It resets with your shop reset typically, and basically the idea is you want to reach that daily achievement before the timer runs out, and you'll get those 25 gems. They vary every day. You'll get a different activity. Some will be to use a pet attack 150 times. That one's pretty easy. We're already chipping away at that one. Some might be to participate in a clan quest 6 times in that day, so you need to make sure you hit the clan boss at least 6 times in that time, and you'll get that reward for that. I don't know what this ghost icon is for. It's actually quite annoying. I think it's from the daily resetting. Alright, we're going to activate Shadow Clone and Midas and smash through some stages. Hopefully that fairy will give us another one. It's just some gold. I'm not going to bother watching that at this time. I typically wouldn't recommend watching gold fairies. It kind of depends. If you have the artifact that gives you increased fairy gold, maybe. But even then, it takes so long to watch the ad that you may actually increase your stage far enough that you'd get even more gold just from continuing playing. Which obviously makes more sense, right? And you're actually playing a game instead of watching it. I'm not saying that fairy ads shouldn't be watched though. Definitely for gems. I would do it for gems, but not for gold. Well, I seem to be mistaken. It looks like it's actually an error on the text there. You unlock Prestige at stage 100-ish, like 115. So I guess you can Prestige much earlier now, which actually is a really good thing, because getting to 500 would be a bit of a mission. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit that Prestige button, and you'll see there some kind of nice little things. You get a little first time Prestige bonus, which is 3 equipment. Your advanced start, which I'm getting because I'm in a clan, is really quite terrible. It's going to put me back to stage 2. If I was in a better clan and had something closer to 50%, I'd be starting at stage 50 or so, which would be much better. You'll see there as well, total relics gained will be 29. If I quickly use this this time to push a little bit further, you'll see that actually that 29 will increase up to 32. So actually sometimes if you have the damage to push further, it's actually more value to keep going and getting a few more relics out of it than it is to stop and just take those relics. But obviously you need to be the judge of that. It's your time and how you want to use it. So I'm just going to push a little bit further because it's quite quick to get through these stages. And I'm not really even breaking a sweat. Those extra relics are going to come in quite handy in a moment when you have to unlock your first relics, your first artifacts, should I say. We're going to hit Prestige. 45 relics now. That's way better. So we basically doubled our relic income by pushing, what was that, like 6-7 stages? So you can see the worth in pushing a little bit further sometimes. But for the sake of the video, we're going to Prestige now. So I'm going to hit the Prestige button. It's going to tell me that stuff there. Great. Let's Prestige. Get a little loading icon. Swordmaster will shine like this. I'm getting the 3 items that it gave me. I don't know if I'm really lucky or if there's a guaranteed legendary for that first one, but hell, that's nice. Now we've got some relics. Okay, before I go any further, I'm going to stop the video here and I'll start the next one on the relic gaining and all that, and I'm going to go through artifact recycling and trying to get the Book of Shadows early on. So I'll catch you in the next one.